Hey guys, this is Anchor7DD, the leader of 7 Days Departed, and today I want to go ahead and make a video on Zimkitha, the new hero of the month. I know a lot of people have been questioning the utility. Is she good? What's she about? So I wanted to actually break down and kind of explain the hero itself. So it does 155 damage to all enemies. It is also at a mana speed of fast. All allies get 25% attack for 4 turns. It's got the elemental link part to it that gains 4% health for all fire allies for 6 turns. And then it also has a situation where it dispels status ailments from all allies. So lots of kind of text in there. There's some hidden treasures with this hero that I don't think most people recognize right off the bat. I do see that a lot of people are arguing Gravemaker versus her. Who should I level up? So I wanted to also kind of address that within this video too. I was able to actually get some footage of attack with Titans, as well as offensive raids and defensive raids. I know the community has been asking for different things. So just so you guys know, the footage that you're actually seeing on this video, and I didn't make this footage. This is just to kind of like help you guys out, kind of see it in action. With the actual utility of Zimkitha, we'll kind of break down as far as what she does. The 155 damage to all enemies, I don't think that that's really that super important on Titans. It's not end of the world. Obviously, if there was more enemies, it'd have a lot more utility. The damage itself is not really that important. The attack power, however, though, this does come into the part to where I think there's relevance with Zimkitha. Especially if you are a little bit higher level, you're choosing between using Tarlak and Wukong as major defensive down heroes, attack power up heroes. I do see that there is the interaction to where you can cut out Bold Tusk because you do want attack power up heroes going into Titan hits. So her tile damage isn't that high, so I don't think that she replaces a tile damage hitter on Titans. I do think that you can maybe substitute her just because she has the attack power up, potentially to get rid of using the Bolt Tusk interaction. I think that would be important if you are using Tarlak. I don't know as to if I would cut Bolt Tusk in favor of Zimkitha for if you're using Wukong still. So probably still better to put her on the bench to keep Bolt Tusk up. Now, when it gets into the elemental link, I do think that does have a little bit of relevance, especially because, as you can see right now, we're using 4 heroes on Titans for fire. So there is a little bit of healing that is going to be happening. I don't know as to if it's really that much of a game changer. And then also dispelling the status ailments, I do see that there is some utility to that, to where you're preventing using antidotes and stuff like that. So you can maybe work on trying to time your Zimkitha going off, especially if the Titan is going up. But I certainly don't see her going in on like every Titan, so I don't really see the versatility in it. I do think that there is a case to be made for using her if you are limited in on heroes. Not a bad hero at all, but I don't think, certainly not a major game changer when it comes to Titans at all. So yeah, we'll kind of finish this out here. Can see that some damage has definitely been done to this guy. Lots of items were used just because it is a rare Titan, and you gotta account for that. But a huge shout out for Clueless for submitting this content to us, because I don't have her yet. So okay. And then next up we actually have some offensive raids, which this is where I see her get the most utility, and actually incredibly good. I would actually probably say one of the best offensive red heroes the game has created, and a lot of different factors play into that. The first factor is that it is fast, and that it is actually dispelling status ailments from all allies. So you can see actually in this video how that's useful. Like right there, could have gone ahead and used Zimkitha and Gravemaker, but waited for Zelene and Gravemaker to go off on us. So now you can actually use Zimkitha to get rid of all the ailments and all of the problems to you. This is so important, being that it is the first fast hero that dispels all ailments against you. And it really, really takes advantage of the current meta, because everybody's using, especially top levels, you've got the Zeleens and the Gravemakers. So that interaction, being able to do that at fast speed, is super important, especially with Guinevere going off really quick. Being that you're dealing 155 damage to all enemies, there is a factor of that is kind of a little bit relevant. The damage isn't super huge. I do see some comparison between like her and Zelene. I know when I first saw Zelene, I didn't see too much. Like it's a very much utility hitter that you have to like recognize that there is a lot more uses to her than you really understand up front. So I do see Zimkitha falling into that category as well. I do see also with the attack power up, going up for 4 turns. I think that's really, really important. That again, people aren't really, they see it as like a little added bonus, but it's a hidden bonus that I don't think people understand how good it really actually is. Kind of similar to even like Tarlac, where obviously the 100% attack power up is huge, but I will say that Tarlac has been a lot better because of the actual heal over time. That really allows you to use other heroes and allow Tarlac to kind of be a little bit of both your healer and your attack power up. It kind of fits in similar into that role, to where you're having not only being able to dispel, but you're also offensive. So it has a lot of it's kind of like a high utility type hero, similar to Zelene. So the elemental link is going to also be relevant too with your other heroes, because typically you're going to be stacking. So as you can see in this, you've got 3 different red heroes. Especially you're probably going to pair it with Gravemaker if you have him. So at higher level, end level type stuff, you're going to see that the utility there is going to be it's definitely going to add up. But like I said, the main thing that makes this hero so good on offense is that it combats the meta very well on offense. So I think that you will be very pleasantly surprised with how good the hero is, being able to do the damage, even if you're pairing it up with like a Falcon or something like that, and then being able to have all the damage go through and hit everybody. I think that's where you're going to see that this hero is going to shine and do a lot of work for you. So if you are hesitant at all or whatever about it, I wouldn't worry, because the hero does a lot of different things, and will really help out in that regard. So again, huge shout out Clueless providing this content for us. Now we've actually got to see Zimkitha on defense. We'll kind of break this down. The 155 damage to all enemies on defense. I do see that there is a little bit of relevance where the most important part on defense that Zimkitha comes in is that she is hitting all heroes at fast. We don't have a ton of heroes that do that, where you want to shift your hero base to be at is to being able to have fast hitters do an extreme amount of either damage or game-changing effect. It's a big part as to why Zelene is so important now, because it's at fast and it really shifts and changes the board, even though the damage itself isn't that big of a deal. But being able to do 155% damage, it is a decent amount, and it is also you're kind of at the mercy of it dispelling when it could be good or not good. But you can see right now, paired with Guinevere, that it's hurting a lot. Being able to have Guinevere kind of save everybody, and then Zimkitha is actually staying in the back and kind of protecting and keeping the pressure on while still being defensively. So I do see that. One big part that I don't think people are going to really appreciate about Zim on defense is the fact that she gives 25% attack for 4 turns. So I think that that's kind of an ability that people aren't going to recognize actually is of importance when it actually is, because those single hits, I know I personally don't pay attention to the single hits. I'm more worried about, the actual damage that is being done by special powers and stuff like that. But having 25% attack to all the heroes definitely plays into things. The elemental link, I don't think that's really going to be a factor too much when it comes to the actual heroes themselves, because you're probably not going to stack a bunch of red heroes. And then, like I said, the dispelling part to it, dispelling all ailments from all allies, that's not, I mean, it's going to help, but it's not going to be as much of a factor when it comes to being on defense. So I do see that this actually does help out a lot for a lot of players. But comparatively to like Gravemaker, I would definitely sideline Zimkitha over Gravemaker. I think Gravemaker definitely punishes a lot more, is definitely more of a factor. So I do see an edge there. Not to mention with being Gravemaker being very fast. I wouldn't put Zimkitha in over Gravemaker. I see that there could be a case to be made if you don't have Guinevere and you're using like a gear. So pairing Zimkitha and Gravemaker as flanking heroes, could see a case there, but not a huge factor. But ultimately, it's still a very solid hero. I will say that giving the grade on this hero on defense was definitely the hardest grade to be making, because it made me want to shift my grading in general. Like a lot of people have been asking, do B pluses, A minuses, that type of stuff like that. This hero on defense definitely made me question and potentially set that up to where that's something that I'm looking towards in the future. I mean, leave it in the comments if you think that I really need to make that shift to be, B plus, A minus, that type of stuff. I did try and keep it cohesive with the Titan grading system. And if you guys are curious, just so you know, I have graded every single hero. So if you go to 7ddgaming.com and then go to Anchor's Guide to Heroes, you'll be able to actually see all grades of all heroes. So the hero grade here for Zimkitha, I went ahead and gave her a B on Titans. I do see that there is some utility there. Not an overall game changer, like I already expressed. The attack power up is relevant, but not huge on tiles. I still think a fair hero. On offense, I gave her an A, close to an A+, to be honest. I would say that Gravemaker beats her out on A, but just so much utility and great usage. And then actually on defense, I did give her a B. It was fringe B+, A- grade though. So don't feel bad that she's got a B grade on that. Still a great hero to be having on defense, but there are better options because red is huge. Overall, I gave Zimkitha a B. So I think that if you highlight it, I would definitely use the Ascension materials on her. She is a great hero. But thank you guys very much for watching. I really